Album review. Today's album is Clarity by Zedd, and I'm joined by Joe.
Hello.
Will.
Ahoy hoy.
Aidan.
Clarity.
And myself, Denver. So, you know how I said this was a redemption album?
Sorry, I think whenever you say redemption, it makes me throw up.
I see.
Makes me cough up blood.
Because obviously we did his other album, which I forgot what it was called. Done with Love?
True
Colours. We did that
True
very early on.
Colours.
Second pick. And Aidan and Joe gave it sort of average. I liked it. Will hated it. So we got like a... I think
but I'll talk about that later.
So it scored less than 20 last time.
Yeah.
So I was like, pick this album. Bit of a redemption. But I don't think I've actually heard the whole album before, at least not enough. So like I knew like 3 songs going into this that I knew I really liked, and they were my top 3 in the end. Still, like nothing changed that. But there's a lot more trashy dance beats than I remember. And I feel like he obviously hit the bigger songs from this album, he obviously took and then just made an album full of that for the second one. So the album we did before actually has a lot more. I'm not sure if every song on the other one has like a featured artist, even though he does have a lot of featured artists on this one. There was like a lot of trashy dance beats, but some of them I still had moments that I liked some of them. Like I liked how quite a few of the songs actually they perfectly linked and faded to the next one, so it kind of added something by playing the album in order. And I kind of like when artists do that, especially in the format that we do with album review. I felt like someone was going to say something then.
I agree.
I'm trying hard not to breathe.
Sorry, yes.
Oh, no, someone made like a little noise while I was saying.
Again, it's me trying to not...
It's horrible when everyone's quiet and you're talking, isn't it?
I'm just trying not to breathe.
I hate
it. Shut up, Joe! So I'm trying not to breathe.
Right.
Because when I do, I'm so like nasally and disgusting at the moment. But I don't want Denver to be talking and be like, oh, this Zedd album, and all you hear is like...
But if that's happening, I can cut that.
Yeah. Here's my issue: is when people are being quiet when I speak, I'm now instantly paranoid that Denver's not listening, because it seems to happen regularly.
Fair, there is a chance.
Yeah, there's a good 40% chance. Sorry, carry on.
Fight Samoan Joe.
Who?
You got 144% chance of winning.
What's a Samoan?
And then you throw Kurt Angle into the mix.
For fuck's sake.
What's
Your chances of winning drastically go down.
What's a Samoan? Is that like Moana, like the dude from it? Like,
no, that's a sumo.
what's a Samoan?
It's not a sumo.
None of these things are true in any way.
What is a Samoan?
To be fair though, Joe, I don't know what Samoan is, but the first thing I think is the guy is Dwayne The Rock Johnson from
Is he
Moana.
from Somalia?
Somalia.
You said it. I don't know.
I guess so. Although they're Somalians, aren't they? That's where you get Somalian pirates. They're not Samoan pirates.
What can I say except you're welcome?
That's a copyright claim.
Nah, it's alright. It's original.
Samoa. Oh, it's a place.
Oh.
Samoa's a place.
What?
Yeah, but is it like a town?
So what's the
No,
difference?
it's an island.
So what's the difference between Samoan Joe and regular English Joe?
One I'd actually like to spend time with.
And that's actual Joe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this album, so yeah, it did have a lot more trashy dance beats than I remember, but I feel that's because this was just his first album, whereas the one we did before was his second album, so he sort of refined his craft a bit more. But it still does have some bangers on it, and it's not all trash. Like I felt like it's the album starts really well with the 2 songs, and I think they're just groovy, or I guess quite good to work out to. the whole album really works quite well for listening
Denver
to
the gym lad now.
Gym lad. But there was like, I'd say about 3 or 4 that were just the classic shit club like trancey dance music, which was just shit.
Which were they? Hit me with them.
So
All of them.
the worst one was Codec. That was my least favorite because that was super long as well as trash. But I would also say other ones that were pretty bad was Stash or Stashy. Don't really know how to say that one.
I think you mean Stash.
Stash. Yeah, that was terrible. But it had like the only reason that wasn't the worst was because it had about a 30-second bit where I was like, oh, that's quite cool. But other than that, no. And then Epos.
Doesn't it kind of weird you out that they even give like instrumentals names?
Yeah, like
What do
how
you
did they
mean?
come up with that? Like the name.
Like, at what part did Zedd sit down and listen to Stash and be like, this is the second part of the word mustache, cropped down.
Well,
Well,
let's see what they actually mean. So,
Oh, okay,
epos
right.
apparently means a number of poems not formally united that treat an epic theme.
But wouldn't you feel like a
What is
poem
that?
would be spoken word?
that's what I was just going to say.
Well, it's
poem.
all they're all
necessarily.
forms of art, aren't they? But that would make sense because one of my notes for Epos was it just sounds like random. It sounds like he made like a backing beat, like a basic beat, and then just hit random keys on the keyboard. That's what that song sounds like. Whereas all the other, I would say those ones I did dislike, but all the other dancey tracks I still thought were pretty good. Like I did like listening to them. Like I thought the album starts off really well with Hourglass and Shave It Up, and it ends well with Find You as well. Like that was one I didn't know. So yeah, great starting, great end. I say great, they're okay. The peak, it starts off really well until Codec. Like those first 5, I thought fantastic. I'll go through a top 3 and then I'll do the others. So the top 3, I knew they were my top 3 even before listening to the album, and they still were the standout songs. So that was third was Lost at Sea, just another brilliant song. Second, Stay the Night, Hayley Williams, just fantastic. And number 1, of course, the best song ever made, Clarity.
Yes, Stay the Night,
Would you say-
Tiesto's Club Life remix.
Would you say Clarity is your favorite song of all time?
Probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, love
Wow,
that song.
that's a bold. It's bold.
I kind of get it, to be honest.
It's just such
Do you?
a epic song. And it's because of that song that I even found Zedd in the first place.
Do you have a favourite song of all time, Will?
Well, I say it's like probably, I don't know. I always say probably Wake Me Up When September Ends, but that's more probably the meaning in the actual song. So it's like, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Do you have a favourite person of all time?
Me.
Myself, yeah.
Oh,
Yourself?
No, I'm
that's
joking.
fair. I love you.
My
I
mum.
mean,
Oh,
She's great.
what?
that's nice.
Who?
Shout out to Karen.
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a bit sad that he didn't pick Obama, but whatever. He did a lot for you, and what's Karen done for you? Only raised you.
I know, fucking hell. What a
It's
slag.
not difficult, is
Bitch. Did you just call her a slag?
Oh my god.
You mum slag.
If you were such a slag, I wouldn't be here.
You fucking dirty sket mum.
Oh, God.
But,
I hate this.
She ain't listening.
but what I will mention is because I knew those were great going in. What was kind of a disappointment was Fall Into the Sky, because looking into that, it had Ellie Goulding, the female singer. I like Ellie Goulding.
Sorry, and Lucky Date.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. And the Zedd collaboration. I was like, oh, I didn't know they did a collab. Wonder what that's like. Yeah, really disappointing and kind of just. There's a bit with Ellie Goulding singing, which is just not that great, and then there's trashy dance beats. So I was like, oh, that's just shit. I almost gave that as my least favorite just because of how disappointing it was. That I was expecting something great out of that. But the ones that I hadn't heard before, that or at least don't really remember from listening to the albums previously, that was surprisingly good, was Follow You Down and Push Play. Both almost really good, but then they did kind of, I think it was Push Play that kind of gets ruined. Like, it starts off really well and ends really well, but in the middle it's like it's a bit too much because the singing and the overarching like dance beat is played at the same time.
Yeah, it's like a pancake, but it's filled with chocolate.
Yeah, it's like too much sauce in the middle. Like the edge of the bun is, or pancake in this case, is really nice.
Well,
like,
no, hang on. What's your analogy?
Well, I was just gonna be like, you know, when you make
no, you're throwing out bun.
Well, you make like a sandwich. You put the sauce in the middle, and on the edge, it's just like a fine line of sauce. And you take the first bite and go, "Ooh, that's nice." You take the second bite though, "Ooh, it's too much sauce in the middle."
Not Joe Midwood though. Not Joe Midwood.
No.
Fucking fills the middle and then the outside and then dips it in as well.
What the real trick is
vile.
to open your burger up, put some salt in it, and then make a pool of
Salt?
salt, and then make a pool of salt for dipping. And that's
I literally want to throw up.
This is like the Tequila Slammers thing as well. He takes one bite and then just fucking snorts a line of salt.
Did you have a
that's the
tequila
thing.
slammer with us, Joe?
I didn't, unfortunately, but I remember the first time I had a tequila, and I got really confused because, first of all, I thought,
We've told this story.
have I
You've
actually?
seen another album review.
Have
What
I
about
actually?
snorting it?
Yeah, about him basically.
Yeah, you
holding
have
it,
said
know
that.
he
Oh,
had
you have said that.
God, no content.
Get more
I've got no
interested in you.
content.
literally like, be more interesting. Bit like Will, just sit there silently the entire time.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm calling you out, you piece of shit.
Nice. Sorry about that.
Uh,
But yeah, the salt dipping thing. Burger. Salt. More salt. Great burger.
And also, ketchup is fucking filled with salt as well. And like,
I
you
know, and I
lather
have a
that
lot.
shit on.
I have a lot.
So
of
he
ketchup.
probably has his salt in. Do you know, Joe? These like intake guidelines. It's not like, oh, gotta get my guideline in one meal.
Right. Who wakes up in the morning and goes, gotta follow that salt guideline, mate?
Who the fuck wakes up at 3 a.m. and goes, God, I need some Galaxy chocolate, you fat fuck?
Excuse me. I have a Cadbury's Big Taste. 3 layers.
I hate you so much.
And to ask who looks at their salt intake, I do.
Do
Do
you?
you
Yeah.
wake up and say, this is how
Do you
much salt
actually?
I'm gonna have today?
No, but I have an app that tracks all my intakes of things.
My fitness plan.
Yes.
That's such an Obama
It is
thing to
really
do.
good.
It's a shame you're still getting
But it
fat.
is
Whoa.
Oh,
Wow.
Did you hear that? Deborah?
that was a
To be
joke.
fair, I'm
It was a-
struggling
it was a
to
joke.
get fat. This is the problem.
It was
I
a joke.
can't.
Oh,
I can't eat
yeah.
enough.
That's your problem.
Same.
I wish I had that problem.
In fact, my fitness plan's just tuned up. I've reached 66% of my step goal.
Nice.
But don't worry, my personal trainer says don't need to worry about that. If anything, I need less exercise.
Is that what he said?
No, he didn't say that. He just said don't worry
I was
about that.
That kind of puts him out of a job, doesn't it?
Well, steps aren't really important.
No,
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Just cut me off again. You son of a bitch.
nothing
Sorry.
changes. Joe just forever
You,
cutting people off.
Fucking, you cut me off again.
I'm sorry.
Guess
Um,
where your toes will be.
But yeah, so that's my album review, really. Like,
Oh, fuck, it's over.
yeah, like some surprisingly good songs that could have been great. The best 3 songs I already knew. And then it's kind of okay, and then there's some trash in there. But the trash is kind of nulled out by the great songs. So then it's kind of just okay after that. So when I said it's a redemption, I probably would say, as a complete album, it's worse than his other one. Because I feel like by the time he did his other ones, he'd realised his form of what makes him different. Whereas at this point, he was kind of just... It seemed like he was trying a bit of everything and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, but hold on. What makes him different is just that he's using other artists
Yes.
to do his dirty work.
Yes. But he like mixes so well with different artists. That's why he just does singles now. And I pretty much like almost every song he makes.
He's like an 1800s oil baron.
Have you seen the YouTube video of his fucking house?
Yeah, it's
No.
sick, isn't
It
it?
is unreal. Fuck me. Can't
Well, I might.
watch it, honestly. It's
No.
crazy.
It's a shame when someone that makes music that bad has a house like that. I mean, literally, there's no
Nice.
effort.
Wow.
It's just,
All right.
it's just sit down,
Aidan,
put a few piano
Yeah.
notes in. That's it.
Hey, what's up?
Joe,
It's
there's
your
very
turn,
much
Aidan.
more to that.
I know, I'm joking. It was a little joke.
I'm pretty
don't
sure
know,
he writes all this stuff as well.
I don't know. I've
Really.
got some pretty savage comments about
Oh,
him
here we
and
go.
mine as well. But I just
Let's
wanted
go.
to bring up the fact that I saw a video recommended to me that was like top 5 moments in Marvel movies, like that changed Marvel, and I was like, what fucking sap would click on this and what? And then I was like, oh, Denver and Joe would.
Yeah, I've
So,
seen
I would
that.
also.
Can you send me that? That sounds interesting.
No, to be
It's
fair, I watch all
probably
those
not-
like those videos where people like, oh, what's it called? It's like called Marvel Battlegrounds or something. It's like a sick video where someone's just cut it together over music, like just scenes from Avengers movies. I've posted it before. You'd have definitely seen it, but I really like watching those.
Cringe.
Just Marvel.
Anyway, Aidan,
Cringe. All right, let me just get my massive script out. My humongous. It's not that long.
Puts on his
But it-
glasses.
Well, I'm already wearing them. Will I'm blind in one eye.
Lowers-
Nice of you to
lowers-
bring that up.
Lowers glasses.
Hang on, I'll say it again. Thank you, Will. I'm blind in one eye. Thank you for bringing that up.
Fuck off.
You piece of shit.
not quite blind though.
It says, it's written here. I'll read it. It's written.
Read it, Aidan.
Yeah. The songs on this album are a bop, a real hip hop and happening, but that can almost be to its detriment.
Oh,
Yeah, see, like I bait you in. You're like, oh,
I thought-
intrigued.
I thought
What-
that was going to
sorry,
rhyme.
You cutting me off again?
No, sorry.
Motherfucker, use your indicators. Let me know when you're coming in.
What do you want me to do? Tick tock. Tick,
Yeah, please.
and
If
then
you start doing that before, and I'll be like, Joe's gonna segue onto this.
yeah. All right. This sounds like a plan.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
just-
like it, to be honest.
The majority of the songs of this album are made up of what I would consider as 50% vocals and 50% music. In the sense that even the songs that have vocals in them only have them in for a much shorter period of time than the other songs on the True Colours album.
I'd agree with that.
And in my opinion, that's where it falls flat. Not because the melodies are particularly bad. It's because my listening experience is primarily focused around songs that have more vocal heavy like content. Which in turn makes me not dislike the album per se, but rather not take into consideration the effort that went into producing and making it.
Tick
Do you get what I mean?
tock. Tick
I
tock.
get you. Okay.
Tick.
Sorry,
Tick,
Joe's
tock.
coming in.
I agree.
Is that it?
That's and
gotta indicate out now.
I think as well structure as well. The songs very much lack structure. I think as well as like just the basic foundation of a song. I don't think was there.
I'm sure that Mr. Zedd is an
Hmm.
extremely talented musician. Pressing them keys be rough yet.
Sorry, I didn't indicate out.
You didn't
I'm
need to.
still here.
Who indicates
And I think I
out?
speak for everyone bar Denver when I say that it's the artist's feature that really it's like the featured artists that make the album.
Oh yeah, but that is Zedd. Like Zedd is.
That is DJ.
No,
Yeah.
I mean that's not Zedd.
If Mr. Zedd
That's
brought
the
out an
featured artist.
instrumental album, there is no way in hell I'd listen to it on my own accord.
No, but neither would I really.
I don't
It's
think
the way
well,
he
there would
mixes
be-
artists with his backing track is what makes them good songs.
See, this is my worry. I mean, if you
Sounds
guys
like
can
it's
know.
not your turn, Joe.
Okay.
The worst song was Epos. Epos?
Epos.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but there isn't anything to it. And the build without the accompaniment of vocals is something that I personally have trouble grasping because I'm like, oh, there it is. It's going. Don't worry, there'll be someone here any second now. And then the song just
It just gets more intense with randomness, doesn't it? I feel
And I
like it
think
is the
the reason-
most random song.
That's why the reason I picked it over the others was because the others at least had some semblance of like, oh, like I've played Rocket League to this song at some point. No one.
Yeah, I get you.
It's not my
Okay, yeah.
turn.
Well, it's
I'm
like
not
I
But
say,
you just
I
want
was
to
like-
fucking sit there silently.
It was like-
I feel
Well,
like
I just
Marshmallow was
not
more
every.
like that.
I just tried to say something, and
Sorry,
I
did
got
you
told
hear
it was my
anything?
turn.
Yeah, it's because
Someone
you
didn't
obviously
indicate.
you were about to start some monologue. I could sense it, so I shut that shit down.
Oh, I wasn't.
damn.
but-
Aidan.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I feel like with Epos especially, it feels like it's something that any chump with a software that can layer tracks and a keyboard could write.
Hmm.
Don't you, me, Will? You need basic.
I don't know. I
knowledge
think
at
this
best.
stuff's a lot harder than like.
You'd think that, but like if you actually
There's a
watch,
reason
I
these
remember
guys are
watching.
big.
There was like a trailer thing for. Do you remember? What was it Dead Menu 5?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Him. There was like one of them quote unquote master classes. You ever seen them pop up on YouTube
I have.
occasionally?
I
And
kept
basically,
getting them
his
from,
was like
sorry.
he even admitted that he didn't know the notes by name, chords, or anything like that.
Yeah.
He played it and then went, that doesn't sound right, and then moved it slightly, and he was like, that doesn't sound right, and then he did it again. And that is how he does songs.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
refuses to learn.
literally a child could just play around with notes and go, that sounds right, that sounds wrong, and that's pretty much what they do. I used to get masterclasses come up from Daniel Negreanu all the time, and he'd be like, yeah, it's pretty much just luck.
I bought that.
Really, did you?
I have the Daniel Negreanu masterclass.
That's brilliant.
Along with that OnlyFans.
Along with those OnlyFans.
I love Daniel Negreanu.
My third favourite was Spectrum.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I know. That all being said, I'm actually a fan of all the parts of Spectrum.
Yeah, Spectrum is
Especially-
good.
Yeah, I especially like that it never takes away from the song. It all feels like lucid. It works together. And it forms like quite a relatively enjoyable listening experience. Because although like a lot of the techno parts in it were almost intrusive or intense, like they kind of worked in a weird way. There's like a strange semblance. You know? It's like Marmite and
I like the
nothing
little
else because
claps in it as
Marmite's
well.
authors. Who doesn't like the clap?
It's just like, and then it's like
Yeah.
boom.
Everyone loves a clap.
Bit clap.
I feel like it's good until the codec, and then that's when it sort of gets a bit ropey throughout the rest of the album.
Well, I don't know, because then dotted in between them are the best songs on the album.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like all over the place. Like you can get suddenly, whereas 1 to 5 is like just solid good, and then it's like really shit, really good, okay, really shit, okay.
I think Shave It Up's pretty shit though, and that's in the top 5.
Can we just have Denver
about-
do the album reviews now, where he just looks at an album and he goes, all right, here's the list of songs, fuckers. This one's shit. This one's okay. This one's all right. This one's shit. I
I was
this
just
one."
saying it randomly. I wasn't actually going through them.
Yeah, but you should. That should be album review before we even start. You
Okay,
should
I'll
go
go.
through.
Okay. Great. Shit. Disappointing. Can't remember. Shit. Amazing. Okay. Shit. Didn't
It sounds
count
like
those
what goes
3.
through my head
Great.
when I go to Joe's house.
I said great at the end. It was actually okay. Not great.
You lied.
Did anyone else I just skipped over the remix songs. I didn't count those.
I don't
Yeah,
know. When
you-
I heard
you-
it come back again, I skipped back to the top.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you told us not to
Yeah.
do the remix.
Because, like, the clarity
You
is
did
just a
say that,
worse
Mr.
clarity.
Denver, didn't you? You did say that.
Yeah, okay, good.
You wanted us to skip those songs, didn't you, Mr. Denver?
Yes.
Thank you, my lord. Can I have my bread now?
Yes, you can say your second choice now.
No, I want some bread.
No bread.
But I've been starving, my
You
lord.
can only get bread if you give it a 10.
I'll go without bread. Second favorite was Stay the Night. Wow.
Ooh.
Haley. What an incredible vocalist. Only attested by Joe Midwood himself.
What does attested mean?
You
mean like
Fuck
you mean like contested?
No. I
Okay.
mean attested.
Yeah, well, what does that mean?
Just fuck off. And this song could have quite easily been my favourite. Sadly, it falls victim to the "I've heard it too many times" excuse, and even then, it was close. Like, I was pretty willing to put this at number 1, just based on Hayley Williams alone.
I mean,
However, this song once again kind of proves to me that without the vocals, the song would fall flat.
Mm.
Because let's be honest, Hayley Williams.
Of Paramore.
Of Paramore, of all things. I actually like her for that one song that she did, Simmer.
So it's a good song.
Next joke, am I right, guys?
I like that song.
Simmer's shit.
Cinnamon is shit.
We should bring back the cinnamon challenge. We also had a guinea pig called Cinnamon and it died.
All guinea
I had a
pigs die.
caterpillar called Cinnamon.
Nobody has a
Just-
pet caterpillar, Joe.
I did.
No, that's just called robbing one from outside and calling it your pet.
Yeah, isn't that what petism is?
No, not really.
Sorry, hang on. I'm making
Right,
up
It's
words.
like
only
me saying
difference
I had a
right.
pet spider for one day.
Did you just
Yeah.
say petism?
The only difference between
No, hang
me
on.
going
We're not skipping over this. You called me out.
right,
You just tried to use petism
the only difference,
as a word.
the only difference between me going outside and buying getting a caterpillar
Buying
and
one.
calling it a pet is the same
Who did you
as
pay?
someone going to the wilderness, taming a horse,
Maining.
and then selling it.
Yeah, but that isn't what people do.
It's the same. It's just I skipped the buying
Joe
step.
actually believes people just walk out into the forest and you're gonna go tame me a horse.
Like, all the horses are tamed.
Joe has absolutely
Yeah.
no understanding of domestication whatsoever.
There are wild horses.
Not in England.
Yes, but
You go
no,
out-
not here.
right. Maybe my analogy was wrong. That's
Right.
me going outside,
Yeah,
picking up a caterpillar,
yeah.
putting it in a box with some holes, and then
Did you
calling
put
it
the holes in the caterpillar or the box?
Yeah, but then when it wants to be a butterfly, you've just killed it.
the fucking caterpillar.
No, because you let it out.
I poked
Anyway.
it so it can breathe.
Have you?
Also, who has insects as pets?
Right, lots of people have insects as pets. Some people have ant farms.
That's not a
Aidan
pet, though,
and
is
Farm.
Not
Yeah,
really a
what
pet.
is it then?
it? It's an ant
Loads of
farm.
pets. You idiot.
Right. Anyway, I stand by my point. I just skipped the buying step and bought
I'm just
one.
the problem is when you think
Yeah.
of a domesticated animal, you don't think, oh, caterpillar.
Exactly.
Well, to be fair, it did escape.
How?
How?
You put it in a box.
Ah.
I don't know. That was my other thing. I was going to
One day
say.
it was gone, and there was a dead butterfly in there.
Have you guys?
This dead butterfly ate my caterpillar.
How did the fucking butterfly get in a sealed box?
No, I think I'm seeing the flaw here, guys. He put holes in the
In
box.
the caterpillar. Oh.
And that's when the
Just a nice big
it's
hole.
just escape routes for the fucking caterpillar.
How
No,
big was the
because that-
caterpillar?
Like pinky finger.
That's a big
And how big was the holes? An inch big. Each hole.
They're tiny little holes, but the issue
God,
is
fuck.
the box rather than being covered in plastic was covered in like I was about to say Celine Dion then, but I meant like what's the paper thing that sounds close to Celine Dion?
Do you mean cling film?
Yes, that's what
You put it in a cling film. How did you make a cling film box? How...
Hmm.
I'm confused. So you just basically wrapped a caterpillar in cling film?
No, you have the box, but I didn't put the lid. It wasn't a plastic lid. It was
Right, got you. The lid, you just put cling film over the top.
yes.
Cling film doesn't rhyme with Celine Dion.
I think
Basically
it was
does.
yeah, pretty much same thing.
Anyway,
Both wrinkly.
Aidan, your favourite?
It had to be Clarity.
Oh, yes.
Come on now. It was
It's
always
so
going to be
good.
Clarity. The vocals really do go above and beyond in this song in comparison to the others. Like, like what's her name? Fox's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fox's vocals carry like the hefty weight that this album created. Because it's just like this. It could have crushed. It could have crushed Fox's. Poor Fox's. But she basically carried the entire song effortlessly.
I feel like Hayley Williams could have also done that song, though.
I don't think she
Maybe.
carries the whole song.
I feel like she did. From the drops to the mellower moments of clarity, it's a shining example of what can actually be done with this kind of shitty music.
Yeah, that is like peak Zedd, because even that, like the build-up is it cuts all the music and then it's just her vocals. That is the
That's what I
the
mean.
peak of the
That's what's
song.
great. That's what I said by mellower moments.
Yeah.
Or is anyone going to call me out for mellower not being a word?
No, because I thought it was a word.
Melatonin.
Fantastic. So, any other closing thoughts, Aidan?
Melatonin.
Any other honourable mentions?
No, not really. I didn't enjoy this album as much as I thought I was going to, but that's because I didn't expect random songs in there with absolutely no vocals whatsoever. Instrumentals, we call them in the business. Didn't know if you knew. Ha ha ha.
I think it's because when I'd previously listened to that, they would come up and I just skipped them. Which
That's
is
cheating.
kind of what they are, isn't it?
Can't do that.
They just skip the songs.
I feel like they are Skipper songs. Skipper, ironically, was the name of Joe's caterpillar.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember actually. Did he have like any like just dance beat songs in his other album?
I don't think so.
What, in True Colours?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
It was so
It's
long
a-
ago, I can't remember.
Oh
He
yeah, I
learned
think
his
like
lesson.
all of them had like someone singing in them.
He learned his lesson.
Yeah, but none of them
So
were
I
actually
just-
like as good as the best songs in this one. I don't think.
Should I do my review?
Well, yes, go ahead.
Okay. I actually quite enjoyed this album, and I ended up listening to it quite a lot more than I thought I ever would. Probably mainly because though, like the top 3 songs were really good, and when I say I listened to this album a lot, I mean like I listened to these top 3 songs a lot. I think all the artists that collabed were kind of like really good. I liked all of their voices. Saying that though, I don't like Ellie Goulding, never have done. But like, and other than Hayley Williams, I hadn't actually heard of any of them as well. Like, I think I'd maybe heard of Ryan Tedder, but I'd never heard of Foxes, never heard of Liz, never heard of Matthew Comer, Bright Lights, Miriam Byron, Brian. I don't know, like hardly any of them. But I thought they were all really good vocalists, and I thought they just kind of worked with the type of music he was doing as well. I wouldn't even say that I necessarily hated just the typical like trashy ones that
Dance
have no
beats.
singing. Yeah, like they're just typical dance songs. Like, don't get me wrong, they weren't fantastic, but usually I'd be like, bless you. Usually I'd be like hating it.
Sorry, I'm
But-
allergic to your wrong opinion.
You can, okay,
What?
Good after
Yeah,
a
what?
year.
What, is it fighting time?
it's fighting time.
Oh, you
I-
son of a bitch.
Sorry, I haven't understood anything that Will said so far because I don't speak wrong.
Well, you definitely do,
Oh,
but
I mean, you're fluent in it, motherfucker.
That burn came back on me.
I don't know. I didn't. Usually, I'd hate that stuff, and I didn't. I thought some of it was quite good. Don't get me wrong; it wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't just horrible to listen to. I don't know. I think it's quite a good DJ, and I much regret my previous rating of the first of his albums because it wasn't his first album, but the first album we listened to, True Colours. Because I think because it was so early on as well, it was hard to gauge how to do the ratings.
Yeah.
Like obviously we've listened to a lot more albums now, and it would be a lot higher than where it was. Whether it would be higher than this, I don't know. I think they're pretty on par for me.
We all make
To
mistakes.
be
Will.
honest,
It's okay.
but yeah. But the worst for me was Epos as well. I also thought that didn't really have anything to it. Just didn't. Nothing really. I don't know. Didn't really like it. Just in general, to be honest. And my top 3 is pretty similar to the rest of your guys. I can't speak. Us people. Third was Lost at Sea. Which was like the one out of my top 3 that I didn't already know that's kind of surprised me because I really liked it. I thought he had a really good voice, and you were saying, Denver, that like he was supposed to sing Clarity, wasn't he? But
Yeah, originally.
he couldn't hit like.
He couldn't
Like,
hit the high
thank God
notes.
that they had foxes sing that, because holy shit, like.
Wait, but how does Denver know this unless
It's in an interview with Zedd.
Unless Denver is
Unless
Zedd.
Denver's Zedd.
Oh my God. It makes so much sense.
I might have to actually double check that I'm not bullshit.
That you're not Zedd.
No, I'm not
That
Zedd.
is not. Hang on a minute.
Let me double
Hang
check
on,
that.
am
on
I
my
Zedd?
birth certificate.
Just fucking runs downstairs. Dad!
Am I Zedd?
Am I Zedd?
Hey Siri. Am I Zedd?
I don't have an opinion on that.
Doesn't have an opinion on that.
It means you could be.
You could be anything you
There's
want.
a chance.
It's like doing the fucking Magic 8 Ball.
There's a
I
chance.
just like the noise the Magic 8 Balls make, you know, because they've got like water or something inside them, like the one off Toy Story where it makes that like glunk, glunk noise. I really like that. Maybe that's like early ASMR. Does no one know what I mean?
Yeah, that's hot.
I think I know what you mean. When it like rolls on the floor and it makes.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Who didn't want to fuck the pig from Toy Story?
Oh my fucking God.
Got nice thighs.
Motherfucker, he thick.
David Cameron over here.
Ooh.
Fucking hell. Second for me was Stay the Night. Because I thought that would probably be my first, purely because of Hayley Williams, and that is a fucking fantastic song. I wouldn't say she carries it, because I think without it, like the melody is good and it's got a nice drop and that, but I think like she definitely brings out that song to like its best. Yeah, I don't know. It's really good. I think that's like the first kind of solo thing she ever did, wasn't it? Like without Paramore.
No, she did Aeroplanes.
Oh God, yeah, with B.O.B.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
I think just before.
Why don't you just call him by his real name, Bob?
Bob. B.O.B. isn't it?
No, it's like Will I Am, innit?
Yeah, it's wrong.
It's a pleasure to meet you, William.
I would be DENVER. That'd be
No,
my
you'd be
DJ name.
ZEDD.
My name be Massive Penis.
I'm such a big fan, Massive Penis.
And number one, by far, holy shit, Clarity is just an amazing, amazing song. Like, I didn't even realize how good it was. Like, I listened to it so many times since I listened to this album. And I definitely heard it before, but I don't know, just never really appreciated it for what it was, I guess. I just think a fucking fantastic song. I've listened to it most days driving to work since listening to this album. But it's fucking awesome. Yeah.
It is
Honorable
such a good song.
mentions.
Oh.
Ooh. Honorable mentions would be Push Play and Alive. Quite like both of them. But they weren't nowhere near as good as the top three saying that. So it kind of surprised me, this album, to be honest. I thought I was going to hate it, but there's quite a lot of good songs on it. And I don't know, maybe as well when I was listening to the previous Zedd album, I was going through a bit of a phase of kind of hating DJ type stuff, whereas
Why is
just
that?
recently. I don't know. I
DJ
just
killed your
wasn't.
family?
I didn't really. Yeah,
DJ,
shit.
DJ just killed my mum.
DJ Cat. Oh wait. I don't know. I think, and recently I've been listening to a lot of like, weirdly, David Guetta and like Calvin Harris and stuff. So it's like, it's kind of come at the right time, I guess, as well, which might have up to my.
It's the age-old
Right,
story. Boy's family gets murdered by DJ. Boy hates DJs for a while. Boy listens to external DJs and becomes a fan again.
Becomes DJ.
I am the DJ.
DJ Big Dick.
Illuminati confirmed. But yeah, I don't really have much more to say other than I just thought it was not bad. It's all right.
Well, I'll tell you who's itching to say something. Joe Midwood.
Hello. This is now my album review. I feel really terrible because and I feel bad because I really didn't like this album to an extreme degree. And I feel bad for hating it as much as I do because I don't want to be like, oh, I hate it. Oh my God, it's so bad. But like every little part of me wants to do that. I really just didn't like it. So I'm going to try and get through this as quick as I can. Or as, not as quick as I can, but.
No, carry on. Go as quick as you can.
Please.
As not like as least dickily as possible, because I really don't want to upset anyone.
I mean, I didn't make the music.
I know,
but I am
last time I told you a Hayley Williams song was shit, you left and didn't speak to me for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's because I went to get food.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so this album was just full of dance music that I really didn't like. I just can't justify liking it. I sat in my car most of the time and listened to this album, and it was just like your classic club music. Didn't really like it. No, just not my type of thing. And I can tell it's like good for probably what it is. Like the people that like that music probably like really love that music type of thing. It's just not my cup of tea, I'm afraid. So my least favorite was Codec, just because it was too long and the most clubby out of all of them. I felt like I would be in a nightclub doing the shots.
Snorting the salt.
Snorting the salt, yep, and or the sugar.
And rubbing the lemon in your eye.
As you do.
Let's do the hardcore
Go
tequila
do that
slammer.
as well.
Snort the salt. Pour
So, no.
juice in your eye.
Fucking slam your head against the bar.
Didn't realise some of these songs were Zedd songs because I'd heard a couple of these before. The ones that were not shit, but okay. And there was only 2 of them really that were not shit and okay. Epos was one that I really didn't like as well. I'm pretty sure that was close to being my least favorite. Obviously there was some singers in them, and the singers I could tell were really good, just not with that kind of backing.
There was no
music
singers in those ones you just said.
I know.
Oh.
But I mean, I just meant all the other ones with singers in it. That's all. Misunderstanding. It's okay. So my third favorite was "Find You." I didn't particularly like that song. I just needed something for the third favorite, really, and I guess that does stand out.
So yeah, again, Joe picks at random.
I don't. No. What Joe's done here, because I've sometimes done similar, where you really can't. You don't know what you think to the album, but you think I'll pick the last one because I like that because that symbolizes the album is over.
It symbolizes that I've listened to the album all the way.
I have literally done that before when I was like, I don't know what to pick.
No, it did stick out because the vocals, there was vocals in it.
Joe, you done any prep for this one?
Yeah, I have actually. I've got some notes. I'll send you.
You
I'll
had
send you the
literally the
notes.
longest time we've ever
I
had.
know. I know. I've got loads of
Yeah.
notes. Can you not
can't
tell?
that? No,
Ah,
not at all.
Fair enough.
Some would say that's a talent to flawlessly
the mo-
distinguish between wank and actual crap. But you do it flawlessly.
the most notes I've got are on these next two things.
Great.
Here we
Can't
go.
wait for him.
I'm about to ruin album review because my second
You-
favorite.
Dude, from the start. Don't worry about it, man.
Because my
That
second
ship
favorite.
sailed. Oh, he's dead.
Because my second favorite was Clarity.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm so sorry. It was my second favorite because I enjoyed the vocals more in my first favorite. However, I have heard Clarity quite a lot since it is an okay song. I know you guys saying it's really good and everything. I just think it's okay. It's not the greatest thing. I feel like I've heard that. You know that bit where it goes "Oh,"
That never happens.
that bit. You are my girl.
That bit happens.
You know? Yeah, but then the bit after that,
Yeah. They did the dancey beats.
that bit, I feel like it's a bit, it's a bit clubby, and I don't like it. My first favorite, Stay the Night. Never knew that was Hayley Williams. Heard that song before quite a lot. Didn't know it was her. Quite impressed now. I know it's her. Yeah, that one was all right. Again, it's just not the issue I have with the album. It's just like not what I would listen to personally. And I can respect that. That's okay. Like that in the eyes of people like Will, it's a great album. But in the eyes of me, who just doesn't listen to that and never really has, it didn't what do you call it, jazz. It didn't jazz with me. It didn't swing. Didn't swing with me. And that's really all I have to say about it.
I think you were pretty fair there, Joe. I mean, you're wrong, but you're fair.
Yeah, that's I expected that kind of response, to be honest. But there you go.
You're a fucking bitch. Did you expect that?
Oh God, I didn't.
No?
Now I'm hurt.
Well, neither did I.
Ugh.
Just came out of it off the top of my head. You know how,
Yeah,
like, you know?
it's original.
I mean, it is. No one's ever called anyone else a fucking bitch.
No, I've never heard it.
Except me to Will's mother.
Except well, I was about to say because it's my mum because she's a dog. But you know.
Well, she's a slag, am I right?
Oh God.
What?
That's a bit too far, mate. No?
Well, Will said it.
Well, yeah, Will did say it.
Will's actively called his mother a slag.
He did.
Yeah, to be fair.
Oh, that's so bad. That's so
Bruh,
bad.
Karen's such a nice woman.
Yeah, she's a...
No,
She's in no way.
I had to hand your mother
Who's
my literal shit. And she was so nice.
Well, you're not your
Oh,
shit.
Here's my poo, or it might have been pee. I
It
don't
was
know.
definitely pee.
It was.
I think it was pee.
Nobody-
it was a
Give
shit.
poo samples to doctors.
Well, no, Joe
You
didn't
do?
know. Joe tried to hand it in, mate.
You do, because where else do you hand them in?
Joe was like over the desk, but he wiped his hand and there
Samples are a
was
thing.
there was still shit on it.
Grease.
I'd like to see a doctor, please, and he rolls it over the desk.
Poo samples are not a thing. It's all we samples.
They are. I've done poo samples.
I feel like
I
Joe's
don't
been
know.
like had. Joe's been like bamboozled.
Does any...
All we need is a shit sample and the 3 numbers on the back of your credit card.
Joe just walks in with a bucket.
And then next thing
I
you
got it
know,
all.
they've made a Joe clone.
Oh my god. I couldn't
I've been
imagine
tricked this
anything
whole time.
worse.
Oh man, that's eye opening.
I'd like to know ratings.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
shit.
6.5.
4.
6.
1.5.
Ooh. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't
If
think
you don't like it, then
a great
it's one of
album
them.
has ever scored so poorly. I say a great album, actually. No, it was an okay album. It just has great songs on it.
With great albums comes great responsibility.
It scores 18.
Uncle
Oof.
Ben died for
That's
that.
Where does
pretty
that-
low.
Where does that compare to the other Zedd album?
The other Zedd album scored 19.5.
Oh,
Oh
worse.
shit! I feel
Damn.
like technically that's accurate. This was worse than True Colors. It may have had like better main songs.
But as an album, it was worse, yes.
Yeah.
Can I just say that is the worst I've ever rated an album.
I know,
in album
like-
review. Yeah.
So unfairly. But that's
The
because
pro-
you
the
like the
problem is-
shittest music,
Yeah,
so...
it's just it's easy to just like go back to Joe, and Joe's always like, "Oh, I didn't like this album," and it's so easy to just look back and be like, "Listen to what you're listening to.
I
Listen
think
to it.
you know.
It sounds like
Hey,
oh,
did you think that was worse than Kanye's album?
like-
Yes,
You're wrong.
It's so
that is the
wrong.
worst album we've listened to, in my opinion. But that's okay. You know, it's my opinion, and I'm sorry about it. I'm just gonna go now.
That real
No, I
crack
feel like-
music.
I feel like I look back through ratings, you know,
Yeah.
and here's what I realised with Joe. It's
Yeah, yeah.
actually a vendetta against me. I feel like all my album picks, you just right. I'm just gonna bring this up by
I was going to say, do you have sufficient evidence?
right. Okay, so he rated this last album the lowest. The album before the lowest. This is just my picks.
Right.
The album before that the lowest. Let's just check the one before that. Yep, the album before that the lowest.
Oh my god.
The
I'm
last
seeing a
album that he didn't rate the lowest was when we did Linkin Park.
Oh my word.
So the
No, I'm
last
seeing a trend here, boys. I'm seeing a trend.
so the last 6
Oh, God.
album picks that I've picked, Joe rated the lowest.
I'm sorry. This is bad.
So I feel like you had like a little modifier on there, like the little Denver modifier, because I feel like from what you said, it was like that's a 3.
Right. Yeah, but I wouldn't listen to any of the songs. This is the big issue.
Nah, I feel like you just don't know what a good song is.
That's fair enough.
Ah.
Yeah, I can second that.
I mean, have you listened to my album JMMD Burning Bridges?
No, you're
Oh,
right.
shit, we should pick that.
Great songs. A little
So
bit of marketing.
Denver. Seeing as though we're not picking an album this week,
Yes. It's the
try
year
to
special.
Explain. Yes.
So the
year
next,
special.
so we're not picking an album. We're doing the year's special of a year in album review, so we can give some context to the albums that we never recorded, so we can sort of go through them, pick out how this year in album review has changed us as people.
I feel stupider.
Yeah, to be fair.
Or has changed our music taste, and how this is the greatest idea we've ever
of all
had.
time. Saying like that, like we haven't recorded everything for a year, obviously.
No,
So
like,
there's a lot of albums that.
We didn't know if we were ready.
so there's
No.
before we started recording them, there was 63 prior albums.
Just a few then. Oh my god.
Just getting warmed up.
And what we've recorded, this is now number, I think, 14 or 15.
Well,
Yeah.
we are. Here's to another year, boys.
So
That's
when it's
crazy that we've done a year.
when it's exactly a year, we'll record a year and album review, and then we'll pick the next album. Joe will have his pick then.
Yay.
That's what we'll do it.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Any
Nice.
parting words on this album, Joe?